Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with POW Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Sunday. Happy Sunday, July 27th. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to do another rapid fire news update, this time for the period July 19th to the 25th. And again, it's just a high level overview in case you missed it. We're not going to deep dive into it or anything like that. Before we do, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So jump right to it. We've got a lot of news this week and another exciting week. We've got an exciting week ahead, in my opinion, as well. And really, we're going to see a massive alt season like you never believe here very, very soon, folks. Financial giant Charles Schwab launching Bitcoin and Ethereum trading, taking competition to Coinbase. So obviously, the big banks, the Wall Street banks, are being disrupted, right? So they're going to have to capitulate eventually, and that's what's happening here, right? They're losing market share, they're missing out on revenue, and as we know, that's all they care about is money, right? So they're basically they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. We're in the then you win phase. Also, XP Market, we're proud to announce the launch of XP Market's XRP Strategic Reserve. And this is going to, I said, folks, this isn't a trend like Vivo Power. This isn't going to end here, right? It's the domino effect. Once one goes, once a couple go, they all go. Starting today, we are forming a strategic reserve, and this was posted on July 19th, of both XRP and RLUSD, the Ripple stablecoin, which will be added to our balance sheets. This is a commitment we've decided to make to further strengthen our future and focus on the XRP ledger, securing our long-term vision. This is something no other project has done on the XRP ledger. We're doubling down on what we believe in. So love to see that. Like I said, it's only going to continue. More proof. This was on July 23rd. A vertical farming tech firm, Nature's Miracle, launches a 20 million XRP treasury program, becoming one of the first public companies to adopt XRP as a core reserve strategy. Also, high leverage trader James Wynn opens a 25x long on Ethereum and a 10x on Pepe. And I wanted to bring this up because we've actually been doing a trading challenge over in the POW Group private community, and a bunch of people on social medias and everything have been joining as well. But I think we have half a dozen, and there should be close to a dozen soon. So essentially what you can do is, I'm not sure why that's, get out of the way here. Trying to see that, but it's not allowing me to do that. So I'll just, anyways, it's not going away. So come join the trading challenge. And this was posted a couple of days ago. I actually have a official link. I'm going to put it in the description in the comment section below. We're doing copy trading, so it's super cool. And I actually worked with BTCC. It's an affiliation with them to get you a 10% bonus on your first time deposit. So it has to be minimum $500 USDT, or you can do $500 worth of USD with fiat deposit as well. And you also get 40% lower trading fees, and it's super cheap, the trading fees. It's 0.04%. It's some of the lowest fees, if not the lowest fees I've ever seen. And yeah, it's never been hacked. You don't need KYC. So if you haven't checked this out, make sure to do so. I actually did the first ever trade, and you can see here it was an XLM 20x leverage. Now, I don't recommend doing leverage. It's not it's just a small amount. You can see I only used $66, but the profit was $51. So made about 80% on that trade. And some of my followers as well followed that trade. And you can see here that some of my followers, they actually made 182 on that trade, 139, 139, and 104. These two just joined, so they weren't there for that first trade, but not bad for the first trade ever, hitting 80%. And it was just in a very, very short period of time as well. It was like not even a full 24-hour period. You can see I entered at 42 cents, exited at 44 cents. We had an hourly inverse head and shoulders that was forming. And we actually got another trade that's live right now. So if you want to join in on the fun, like I said, you can do the copy trading. You can just go to the link in the description in the comment section. Once you go create your account, you'll get that 10% bonus, and you can just search for POW Group. You can see I have 6 copy traders, followers, out of 500. So the first 500, after that, you won't be able to do that. It is a max that you have on BTCC. So I'm going to do some more promotion for it. I'm going to do some more videos, tutorials, etc. And if anybody does have any questions, just let me know. But it's been going great so far. Also, Standard Chartered predicts that $200,000 Bitcoin could be in store by the end of this year. I do believe so as well. We have a weekly bull flag targeting 146,000. I don't think it's going to get much more than that. I would be very cautious trying to hold it till 200,000, but even if it goes to 200,000, that's not even 100% gain from here. So I'm focusing on altcoins all the way from here. It's just not worth the risk in my opinion, and there's a lot more opportunity elsewhere. Also, just in tokenized RWA, so real world assets on the XRP ledger, has jumped 2,260% from 5 million in January to over $118 million today. Folks, this isn't going to slow down. Again, these trends, they're just going to ignite like wildfire, and we can't even see the iceberg yet. We're just at the tippy top of the iceberg pointing out. Over 99% of XRP holders are in profit. Yay! So XRP reaches 99.6% of its supply in profit, outpacing Bitcoin and signaling a peak investor profitability levels. I don't know about you, but I've got an average on XRP of 40 cents, so I'm well in the green, and it's been a great year ever since November, whenever the price really erupted. So 2025 has been a year for the books, but I think it's going to close it out even better than your wildest dreams could have ever imagined. Also, Vcon raises over $500 million to pursue a Bitcoin treasury strategy. So again, it's not just Bitcoin. It's not the only game in town. There's going to be XRP. There's going to be other assets as well. And once that one goes, they all go, right? So this is a trend that we're seeing. And not only are countries adding it to their central banks, there's companies that are going to be adding it to their balance sheet. And just imagine when the Microsofts, I don't think it'd be good to do Bitcoin right now, to be completely honest with you, near all-time highs. I'd want to wait for a significant pullback before I added any Bitcoin. Also saw this article, was interesting. XRP News, why the Ripple versus SEC case isn't over yet. And the SEC process causes delay. Legal experts are saying and clarifying that the SEC must vote to finalize dropping the case. And this process typically takes 1 to 2 months. So realistically, but sometime between now and the end of the year, it should be wrapped up. I'm not foreseeing any issues with that. And then, like I said, we should see an XRP ETF as well. A lot of experts are calling for that, pretty much a virtual certainty at this point. Also, another disruption at our door here with Western Union. They're accelerating their stablecoin integration. And again, that's just read between the lines for, hey, we're being disrupted. And you have to understand, folks, crypto didn't just appear out of nowhere. This has been the plan all along, right? It's the internet of value. Why is it in 2025 the quickest way to get money from point A to point B is to get on a plane and fly it there, right? From here to, if you wanted to go from Canada or the US to Europe, the fastest way to get $10,000 there is to get on a plane and fly it there. In 2025, it's ridiculous. So it's time for the whole financial system to be brought into the 2025 and the 21st century. Also, JP Morgan set to launch crypto-backed loans. Again, we're seeing more disruption. And again, JP Morgan was linked to the Ethereum ICO. They're not. This isn't just them, capitulating and deciding now. This has all been the plan all along, folks. And I bet you, JP Morgan has a lot more involvement into this crypto space than many believe. And I think they probably even had some of the initial ties into Bitcoin, to be completely honest with you. Nothing would surprise me. Also, DMG blockchain is exploring a digital asset treasury strategy. So choice of words there, interesting, saying a digital asset versus a Bitcoin. And not sure what's going on. I think I had a glitch there in my browser. Hopefully it's back. Jack Dorsey's block joins the S&P 500. And what does this mean for crypto? What it means is we're gaining mainstream, folks. We have Circle, we have Coinbase, we've got Block. We're probably going to see Kraken IPO at some point soon. You're going to see Ripple IPO after the case is over. Folks, things are really going to heat up in a big way, and it's going to happen fast, right? The Internet of Information happened fast, but now these companies are actually profitable, right? It's not just an idea. They're actually making money, and then they're IPOing, and they have the Internet of Information to propel the Internet of Value, folks. It's going to happen at breakneck speed. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blink, and before you know it, you're going to be the majority of the gains and the opportunity is going to be completely left in history, because like I said, it's going to happen so fast if you're not paying attention. And you want to make sure that you have an exit plan, right? Don't sell it all too soon. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice, but make sure you scatter it, and don't just exit. Don't hold forever either, right? Like, you don't want to. I mean, everybody has their own prerogative. Everybody has their own game plan, and everybody's situation is different. But I can't stress enough the fact that you need to have a plan. And then what I recommend, the best plan ever, is to just set targets and, say 10% at this target, 10% at this, 20 at this, some that I'm holding for this price, some that I'm holding forever, right? And just, again, don't need to do what I do, but figure out a plan and have a plan so that you can execute it. And then that way you don't get caught, holding the bag if things do skyrocket. And then we see another bear market of an 80 to 90% correction. You're not left holding the bag. Also, Jack Dorsey Square is going to allow merchants to accept Bitcoin starting today. And this was on July 22nd. So again, mainstream is finally here, folks. Tether CEO outlines U.S. strategy following Trump's crypto legislation. So that's none other than the Genius Act, so the Stablecoin Act. And we know that there's been a lot of scrutiny, just overall concern with Tether and how it operates, and obviously not complying with the law now. So they have to completely revamp their U.S. strategy, and more than likely just going to create a completely new entity. But we'll see what happens there. Obviously, I don't think they're going anywhere. Like, it's a huge cloud over the industry. What happens if Tether fails? It's a big concern, and it's warranted. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to let it fail. It just doesn't seem like the most likely scenario to me. But curious to hear what everybody else thinks in the comment section. Also, Paul Barron, massive institutional move. BNY Mellon, America's oldest bank, becomes primary custodian for Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin, while Standard Chartered predicts XRP could hit 1250 by 2028. I think it could hit 1250 by the end of this year. So yeah, giddy up. Things are looking good. My prediction is still looking at $8 XRP by the end of the year. I would agree. And yeah, Paul Barron, a huge supporter of XRP and loved by the community. Also, Crypto Briefing says President Trump's digital asset report has been finalized and is scheduled for release this week. Well, next week, but this week. So this was on July 23rd from Bo Hines. The President's Working Group on Digital Assets has completed the 180-day report. It will be released publicly on July 30th. So that's going to be on Wednesday, folks. There could be some massive announcements coming. America is now leading the way on digital asset policy. We've got Clarity Act, market structure, anti-CBDC. It's all coming. And if you see like no tax crypto, different strategic reserves and sovereign wealth fund, like, folks, we could be in store for the biggest week ever. So giddy up, get ready. I think it's going to be a fun week ahead, and then I think August is going to be absolutely lit. Also, there was a lot of just speculation going on about this, and people upset, and it was kind of stupid, to be honest with you. Ripple co-founder, so this is Chris Larson, under fire for $175 million worth of XRP transfers amid dumping accusation. So who cares? Like, the guy's got billions of XRP. If he wants to sell some, like, let him. Like, screw off. Like, why are people so accusatory? Why are people so up in arms? Like, do you own XRP? Is there a certain price level that you're going to sell some at? Well, then piss off. Like, float. Go fly a kite. Like, come on. This guy, basically got XRP for next to nothing, like virtually zero. So, the amount of money that he would have in profit, and he has like billions of XRP. So who cares? Like, everybody mind their own damn business. Like, it doesn't matter. If he's got XRP, he can do whatever he wants with it. If it's his XRP, it's not yours. That's the end of the story. Move on. Also, Robinhood lists Hedera. This was some other big news, and HBAR was absolutely busting and has been one of the best performers. And actually, it's a daily bull flag looking to confirm as well. We could easily see 100% upside of that. Chainlink, this was super cool. The future of assets. So you're going to see this everywhere. Everything of value is going to be tokenized, right? You can see here address. So the home, the asset of the home is the asset tokenized on the blockchain. You got address 101 blockchain road. You got the maintenance history, the age, past sales, right? How many times have you reached out to your realtor? I do this all the time, and I'm like, hey, can you check out this address, this property, and tell me what it sold for in the past? If it was just on the blockchain, I could go look it up myself And yeah, it's gonna be a game changer. And you won't be able to forge land titles and scams and things like that. Yeah, like deeds. So it's gonna completely transform everything and how the world operates. Also, Cointelegraph reports that global M2 money supply reaches a new all-time high. So folks, typically we see M2, it's the global liquidity and money that's basically like cash and easy to liquidate. That's what it's gauging, like it's tracking that. And that's what it is in a nutshell. But essentially, crypto usually lags the M2. And like I said, this is a great sign, and it's not going to last forever. If M2 wasn't near all-time highs, I'd say, maybe we do have quite a ways to go yet. But the fact that it's at all-time highs, that tells me that, it's eventually going to peak and come back down. And that's not going to be good for a lot of the risk-on assets, right, including crypto. So I do think that the top is near. Also, Tesla reported earnings. They had a mixed bag of results. They missed in terms of their sale projections. But Tesla reveals none of their $1.420 billion worth of Bitcoin was sold in Q2 2025. So putting some nerves to rest there. Also, FBI has dropped its investigation into Kraken and the founder, the crypto exchange founder. So again, just SEC completely dropping everything, and then FBI. We're in a new day, folks. And the golden age. And I can't remember if I mentioned this last week on last week's update, but I'll just briefly go over this. But you can see here, Dave Portnoy admits he has mishandled an XRP holding worth millions. And he says, I want to cry. He said if he didn't sell at 240 right before the big pump, he would have made millions. And I said, grown men will weep, didn't they say? And here's a grown man, and he's saying he wants to cry. But basically, he said that the person who told him to buy XRP told him to sell it as well because he wasn't sure. He thought that Circle going public, it was going to, it doesn't even make any sense. And the funny thing about it all is I even made another post. I said, the day that somebody tells me to sell my XRP and I listen to them, I don't care if Elon Musk called me up and said, hey, sell your XRP. I'd tell you to flip him the bird. I'd be like, you're an absolute moron. You sell your XRP, but I'm not selling mine. I know what I own. So yeah, the day that I listen to somebody tell me to sell XRP, hell would have to freeze over because I've done thousands of hours worth of research, folks, and I know what I own. Also, can't remember if I mentioned this last week or not either, but the highest rated stablecoin on Blue Chip has never changed. But today, Ripple's RLUSD becomes the new #1 ranked stablecoin. And you have the BNY, Mellon News, and Custodian. Folks, the writing is on the wall. Ripple is the Amazon of crypto. Ripple will become the world's most valuable company by market cap when it's all said and done, give it enough time. And XRP will become the world's most valuable digital asset. Mark my words, you heard it here first. I don't care if you believe me or don't believe me. I don't need to convince you because don't worry, give it enough time and time will convince you because it'll just happen. And you'll be like, remember that time Rod kept saying that for years and years and years and he totally ended up being right. But I don't need to be right because I know I'm right. I don't need to know. I have no doubt. We're talking about the way the financial system operates, folks. We're talking about hundreds of trillions, quadrillions. Ripple could make the world's first trillionaire. Understand that. And the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, is worth $10 billion. And the company was just founded in 2012. If you look at Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, he's only worth $2.5 billion only. But just goes to show you how quickly things are happening. It's going to be an amazing couple decades. All right, let me know what you think of this news. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.